Hey, I'm Vishal Krishna, the founder and editor of the upstreamlife.com. I love talking technology. I love robots more so because since a child, I've been collecting robots and I love building Gundam robots. That's a whole different story. And I've got somebody who builds real robots. I've got Raghu with me. He's also a fellow Catonian. If you Catonians are watching this, please like, subscribe. And everybody else, please like, subscribe because this is about technology and why India can build its own robots. And Anscer Robotics is Raghu's company. They've done it. And Raghu, what are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about how our journey started
Yes.
and between indigenous robots and what's next thing and how India is progressing towards robots.
And how he's building an ecosystem. He's telling people to build an ecosystem. Motors guys, semiconductor guys, and the sensor guys.
Correct.
Let's get together and also ask the government to help us. In fact, they've got some policies out. You'll find out in this podcast. Please like, subscribe. Thank you. Raghu, firstly, from one Catonian to another, welcome to my podcast. And I'm really happy because I'm meeting a deep tech founder and I love robotics. For the life of me from the 80s, I was 3 years old. You know, my dad would travel the world on business and I would ask him to bring robots home. These robots that would have guns and there would go, there's smoke coming out. That's fascinating, man, that you built real robots. And that's what's India, right? Today, it can build its own robots. So we're talking about Anscer Robotics. First question to you, what is Anscer?
We build robots where we move material intelligently.
Okay, what does that mean? I mean, that's automated warehouses. I know there are warehouses.
So we are in the business of supply chain.
Correct.
So wherever supply chain reaches in any industry, primarily in discrete manufacturing and any manufacturing as warehouses and logistics. So we cover the whole funnel.
Okay.
From the time a raw material is born till the end product and beyond factories, in the distribution centers, warehouses, we can fit a solution anywhere.
Okay, my favorite use case is cars because I've covered them, and cars are a massive supply chain, right? They start with the steel and they have rubber and they have gears, components that come in but that's where your robot can take stuff from, say the warehouse to the factory, right? How does it work? If you can give me that context.
So where a robot works is, so I'll tell you why, I'll give you a context of why you have to use robots.
That's important.
Okay. So today, people are talking about flexible manufacturing. How do I make more things out of the same facility?
Right.
Because technology enables that.
Yes.
Before everything was done in book and pen, you could only limit people to doing the same thing.
Correct.
So now the industry 4.0 is really kicking in an actual environment.
Yes.
And with the digitalizing, with the data, they're able to understand I can produce more.
Right.
So when you want to produce more, the most important thing is supply chain. And Indian supply chain at the roads level is getting developed.
Correct.
So that is something which companies do not have the control.
Yes.
What they have control is what happens inside their compound.
Absolutely.
And if they're able to make a robust supply chain, so there's a concept called just-in-time by the Japanese.
Absolutely.
Everybody wants to achieve just-in-time. So with the traditional way of having a people dependent where there's a supervisor or a production manager who says, bring this, bring that, do that. And if he can only do it for a pre-scheduled environment.
Correct.
If there's going to be a dynamic environment where one production line might go faster, other one might be down, or they want to bring different type of materials at a large scale operation, you need to have a robust system.
Correct.
So in Answer, we don't just build robots. We enable customers to achieve that just in time by building tools beyond robots.
Okay.
Like, for example, maybe a few years ago, if you had to travel to any location, you had to call a cab company, book, and too much of logistics was done to just coordinate.
There's no real time, yeah.
So too much of logistics to coordinate. And imagine if you had done it from a hotel room. They would call your reception and your reception might have to reconnect you. And you have to pre-plan things ahead.
Yes.
But how internet enabled to run apps and be connected?
Yeah.
You could use any taxi app.
Correct.
And wherever you are at any context, you can book.
Correct.
And it cuts down all those extra added layers and just connects between you and the driver.
Right.
And by doing this, the taxi price is also falling down, right?
Absolutely. The price is dynamic, yeah.
It's dynamic.
It's affordable also.
Affordable also. So same way, we understood that we have to create the same user experience inside of shop floor.
Wow.
They were robot systems. They were something called fleet managers to orchestrate running of these robots, but they were all in fixed automation.
Yeah,
when a shift starts, they just work like that. But what we wanted to do was dynamic. How do you enable dynamic? If somebody decides, I I want to get something or send something different inside a facility, regardless of how the workflow is designed.
Yeah.
So we enable that. So we
Okay.
have a business layer application where an operator with 3 clicks can tell what he wants or what he wants to send wherever. And this data automatically goes and gets organized to a supervisor. If he wants, he can oversee the request and approve it, or it dynamically gets approved.
Yeah.
So like this, we enable the Uber model for factories.
Okay, great.
And
This real-time planning.
And at the same time, this whole process has track and trace. So in between anything they want to track and trace, they'll be able to do it.
Okay, because there's so many components to your answer. It's really, it's not complex, but you're saying, okay, on one level, it's a dashboard where the foreman or the industry 4.0 worker can change the workflow dynamically basis the supply of the robots. For our audience, there are robot arms that are welding, that are putting things together. That's one. Then there are workers who are actually bolting the car together, the tires, the gears, the steering system, the suspension. But then I see a trolley moving there with the parts, right? But then what people don't realize is the parts themselves come from some from warehouse. They come in a truck and there's somebody keeping the parts, and then they place the parts in the trolleys, and then the workflow is designed.
Yes.
Right? That's changing thanks to you now, where the industry 4.0 guy is saying, okay, we have robots doing this work from the warehouse layer, Anscer Robotics, and then they supply everything to the workers who are putting the car together, right? So it's an interesting aspect. So there are tooling robots and there are mobility robots like yours. So you want to make the connect and explain? Sorry, I mean, this is a long question.
Yeah. So
I'm excited. That's why I want to know.
So I can give you an example.
Yes, please.
So I'll take an example of talcum powder.
Please.
Very used product, okay? And to make a talcum powder, you need more than 50 ingredients.
Yes.
And because it's a powder synthetically made, there are a lot of chemicals which cannot be kept next to each other.
Right.
They become hazard.
Correct.
Or there's a safety risk.
Yes.
So in these plants, they have designated different locations to store different type of chemicals.
Right.
And these raw materials are stored in different places based on their combustible level and safety risks.
Yes.
So, and talcum powder is just like cooking. And the secret of large-scale cooking is mixing the right ratio and ingredients at the right time.
The ratio is important, not just ingredients.
So when you want to manufacture the same quality and the same consistency of your talcum powder, all the ingredients has to come at the right time.
Wow. And yeah, correct. It's a process.
And imagine, to solve this, what people did, they're like, I will keep excess raw material on my factory floors.
On the floor. It's still dangerous.
It's dangerous, but from a business perspective, your investment is always at any given point of time is stuck. So let's take a company keeps 20% excess raw material. That's like their whole 20% of their inventory money stuck at any given point of time. And they can never take it. But the reason why is because in current traditional way of moving material, they'll say that even if some delay happens or something does not come, I have an excess raw material.
So they're overstocking for safety, to make sure that the right ingredients get mixed. So
yes.
They're overstocking, getting their money stuck there.
Yeah. So they're overstocking. So the problem happens is that one is safety. Second thing is people want to achieve just in time.
Yeah.
And they want to reduce cost to increase productivity. So we help them saying that you don't need to overstock. We can bring that maybe 25% or 20% to less than 5%. And we'll orchestrate this whole thing. By doing this, there are two things. One, the company saves a lot of money which is stuck. Second, because they're bringing just in time, there is something called a supermarket in every factory.
Correct.
Supermarket is, you have a big warehouse.
I've seen them.
So you cannot bring everything from the big warehouse to your production line. So what they do, they'll bring enough required material for that shift to a supermarket. And you go to supermarket and place order. I need this raw material and that raw material, and they ship it to you.
Right.
So what we do here is, when this material comes to supermarket, the space required reduces because you do not have excess material. So now this enables for them to when they save space, they can have more items. They can produce more.
Wow.
So it also increases efficiency and productivity, which comes as an indirect benefits by using the robot.
Interesting. And let's now go to the robot itself. Guys, I wish we could see you. We could show you visual, pardon me. But the interesting aspect is the robot actually it's a pallet. It picks the pallet up. It's a robot that moves. It's like a small mini truck, if I can put it that way. It's a small thing, but the payload can go up to 2,000 kgs. Goes there, and it moves, and then there's a robot arm picking the components and placing it, right?
Yes.
Then it moves towards the said point where the thing gets assembled or made. And that's more efficient than the previous way of doing things, because it saves on cost, saves on time, and your ingredient is still to perfection.
Yes.
Which could be a card, which could be a talcum powder. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. In car manufacturing, let's take there's a damage.
Yeah.
You have to replace a part before it goes to the next part of the assembly.
Correct.
So the traditional way of current manufacturing lines, if this is damaged, it cannot go to the next stage.
Absolutely. The line stops. The whole line stops.
You need to get that material.
Yeah.
And to get a material, you have too much of process. You might have to first file a defect. It has to get approval. Then you have to get an approval to get the release of the raw material. It has to talk to many systems.
Correct.
Process, which takes a real delay. So our platform integrates with there's something called warehouse management system, because the material is in warehouse. But inside a factory, you don't use warehouse management. You use an MES system or an ERP system where the business logic happens. So this can talk to all these tools and orchestrate automation.
Right.
Where someone says there's a defect, this tool can automatically notify saying I need this part, and somebody can approve it. When it approves, it talks between different systems and reduces the effort for them to click.
We'll talk about the systems now. And there's your answer, right? And that's why Anscer Robotics. But Anscer is ANSCER. What does Anscer mean?
So
sorry, just to digress before we get into the system.
So when we started out, and the company, finding a name was a very challenging thing. And my co-founder's mother helped us out. So she was a teacher. She's like, what do you guys do? We told we build autonomous navigation system for controlled environment robots. And she told that's Anscer.
That's Anscer.
So, and that's how Anscer was born.
Fantastic.
So it's an abbreviation for...
That's why you should respect your teachers. That's amazing. So she came up with it, huh?
Yeah. So again, I'll tell you, Anscer stands for Autonomous Navigation System for Controlled Environment Robots.
And therefore, that's why you're saying it works in a compound.
Yes.
And it works very efficiently.
Yes.
And that because the compound itself has a supply chain. That's the answer as well.
Yes.
That itself is your pitch. That's amazing. But and what fascinates me is, guys, if you're watching this, please like, subscribe. And I'm saying that this is an indigenous robot. We'll talk about that journey as well, because his life has not been easy, but they've got big global contracts, and that's why I have him here. Here's another thing. You said dashboards. Okay, now I'll give you dashboards. Right? The industrial 4.2 worker has access to lots of information. Let's say they have an ERP, they have a warehouse management system that they have to plan. Then there's corporate sales orders, right? That the dealerships come and said they need X cars, that they would have forward planned all this, right? In say 8 months, how much are we going to produce? 1 year, how much are we going to produce? All that can be planned now, saying, okay, these are the number of robots we need. Do your robots also connect to the ERPs or the warehouse systems? Is there an intelligence layer for these robots?
So there is, I would say, a primitive intelligence layer, which is getting advanced and advanced. So once they do a production planning, that's where we come in. So we have a schedule, and we have to ensure that the schedule is met.
Yes, correct.
In the manufacturing process. So our tools, our software talks to them and enables this. But what we are trying to do differently is, even companies who use existing ERP tools like SAP or Oracle, not everyone is a power user. Like, for example, the way we would use Google versus our parents using is very different. They would just know to type a keyword, but we would know how to use context to add and find the right data.
Correct.
So even with ERP tools, the machine operators who update real-time data, they know only how to click. They might not be able to add more context.
Yes.
So this was a big challenge. So what they would do is that at the end of the shift, most of the places, the supervisor consolidates the report and updates. They never have the real-time data of what happened. Because I'm moving material.
Correct.
I'm having some context of layer. So I can talk to system and say, I've delivered. So it gets updated real time.
Okay.
So we also enable them to get better understanding of where the material has reached, where it is. The traceability becomes a big factor. And because there's traceability, there will be more fine material moving around the factory, because they know which robot picked up and where it went and where it dropped.
So there's accountability of the robot itself. Yes. Okay. The sell for you. When you sell to these people in the plant, you're perhaps selling to the head of the plant, who's a technical guy who's probably understands production planning. Is that the stakeholder, or do you sell it at the CEO level?
When we started out trying to sell it to the
Plant heads.
not plant heads. It was more of the managers
Okay.
who would be overseeing this. And later, as we started, and we could not
Break through that.
break through that.
Because they think that it's inefficient, because they trust the manual process, right? They're not able to see the vision.
Yeah.
Literally the vision, robot vision.
So they are like, in manually only I'm struggling to do it, and
How
this
will the
person is
robot
bringing about automation,
Yeah.
because everybody has that. When they went through the TRP change, it does not work the way they saw things.
Yes.
They're like, how will these robots work? Because factories, even though there are two types of factories in India, very old factories, which work like Indian roads.
Yeah.
Like it's all about
Broken always. Broken, but it gets the
it gets
function
done.
But not very good product. Yeah.
But the new facilities which they're building, they're world-class infrastructure. Like I've seen even Indian warehouses building at par of world-class.
I can speak for the automotive guys, and they've done a pretty decent
Yeah.
job, right? That's the world-class manufacturing that we have. But you're talking more from the other perspectives also, right?
Yeah. So when they do world-class,
Mhm.
they want to have a process.
Mm.
So they're fine with using the robots.
Mm.
But the real challenge comes in existing factories.
Mm.
How do you implement automation? And that's where people want to see success.
Mm.
They're like, new facility I can understand because I'm planning. But how do you ensure it works there?
Mm.
And that's where we understood it is not only one person we have to answer.
Mm.
There are different type of stakeholders. How do you make them that by using our product, they are seeing insights?
And who are the stakeholders?
So there's something called as an end user, who is the machine operator. And his job is to request robot, send robot. And for him, it should be very easy. It should not take a lot of time. If I tell him to log in, then place a request, wait for response, click too many times, select a robot, he doesn't want to do that. He does not know which robot to select.
Yes.
He will tell, I'll just tell what material I want. And also there is language barrier. Then there is, these people are not so educated.
Yeah.
Where,
They're probably 10th pass or 12th pass, yes. Diploma holders, yeah.
And also these people do not work for too long. Like the attrition rate is very high in India.
Yeah.
So we had to design something where the end user says, yes, I like using this product. And if end user is convinced, the manager gets convinced.
Okay. And these guys, you have to connect with these guys
Yes.
to actually ensure that the manager buys it in.
Yes.
It's not even tough for you.
Yeah, it is. And India is a very tough market, because India is a market where they want the best product in the world
And the cheapest cost.
at the cheapest cost.
Yeah.
So if you're able to sell anything in India, I think you can sell anywhere in the world.
I completely second that. But in your case, the tech is global. You've got some global contracts, which I'm very happy about. How did you win these global businesses? Will you, and that's why the crux of the leadership question for you is, will you sell in India? Because it's affordable for Indian SMEs. Let's say 100 crore SME, just to throw some context, and has a movement in the compound from warehouse to the manufacturing plant. Your robots can make sense. And one robot is 35 lakhs. Say for 100,000 square feet of space, say there's a unit that produces, let's say 10,000 units per day of whatever product. And that means they have the supply chain of 10,000 every day. Do you think your robots how many robots make sense?
So the way it works
Yes.
is, let's take you have a factory.
Yeah.
And you're at 90% efficiency.
Correct.
And you want to go to that 100% or
Yeah,
95.
95. Yeah.
Okay. And when you want to go beyond that efficiency, you need to make your process better.
Correct.
And you'll have a lot of challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the people who buy our product.
All right. Okay.
One of the set customers in India, why they would buy.
This is an SME.
So far, we are selling to
Large
customers.
Yeah, because they have the budgets. Yeah.
So the way it works is that you prove it in the large customer
Yeah,
segment.
then the SMEs, the supply side.
Then the SMEs would buy from you.
Yeah, their vendors will buy from you.
So because they see that it has been proven on a large scale and they can
Why not?
replicate it. That's how it works. Like any automotive supplier, the automotive company OEM decides the standards and the process you have to work.
Okay.
And then the suppliers follow all those processes.
Good point. So that's what you're doing at this point of time. But you see SME owners buying robots at all? Say 100 crore guys. I'm not going to the 50 crore guys as well.
So the way we see 100... So
how should they plan it? If an SME owner watches this, I want these robots to make sure that there's JIT or just in time within my compound. How can I plan a workflow your robot costs about, say,
I would put more
less
of
than
an
100K. It's 50K at least. It's still affordable, man.
in India I would put more of an MSME than SME.
Uh-huh.
Like
Okay.
let's take a manufacturing was doing 100 crores,
Uh-huh.
but they should have like a minimum 2-shift operation,
Correct.
working more than 5
Correct.
days in a week.
Correct.
And when they're doing, then
It
it's a
makes
very
sense.
makes sense to do it, is because they will have other scale challenges. So when you're a small company, you can control things. When it
Yeah.
becomes larger, you have to depend on process.
Yes.
So let's take somebody is manufacturing a product where the components are very delicate. If your material handling operator does not know how to deal with it,
Mhm.
he just pushes the trolley or he just throws the
Mm.
material, it might get defect. And that might cause a defect manufacturing product. Or it could be that they're having too much of labor challenges.
Yes.
Like I went to one company, he told
200 crore?
Huh?
100 crore.
yeah, I think that plant does like 100 to 200 crores. He told 30 years back when I came to job for this company,
Huh.
he told my manager asked me, what do you want to do? He told, if you give me a job, I'll just work here.
Yeah, that's
And
how
he
it
told,
was. Yes.
he told till after 30 years it is. But he says
It's the
now,
same, similar?
he says now, the new generation, because of access to technology, they have got access to so much of opportunities. The opportunities in India is so high. They say that, can I come work in your factory for 3 months? I don't know whether I want to make a decision. I want to see how the working environment is. He's like, this is something which I've never heard for.
Yeah, and it's also
Decade.
dangerous. That means you don't have a permanent workforce. It's always floating.
Yeah, it is always floating. And today there's also a whole mindset of people from rural want to come to urban. They want to move.
Yeah.
We are not taking urban like urban infrastructure to rural.
Yeah, we haven't done that very well. have we? Yeah.
So I'm talking about the root
No,
causes.
I understand.
So these people
It's a
want
fair
to move.
thing that you're saying this.
The people want to move to urban. Like if someone is able to earn more than
Yeah,
25,000.
because the factories are in rural setups.
Yeah, you can't. It's very hard to pay the same salary.
Yeah,
in
the city level salaries.
city.
Yeah.
So people are moving. So what happens is that attrition rate is very high. So you will spend a lot of time training people.
And then they'll leave.
Then they leave. And also factories are very harsh environment. It's not built for everyone. And so many people want to come and do blue collar jobs because today they can sign up on applications and they can decide when they want to work.
Yeah, which is what's happening, right? The riders on the let's say these courier guys, the food delivery guys is just that's what they're doing. That's the blue collar thing. Nothing wrong, but they could actually be part of a factory and be part of the automation process. Not many today. And
So-
that's and that person said this to you, and it's happening, and that's why you need robots to scale up our Indian manufacturing. It's
Yeah.
still stuck at 15% in GDP for a long time.
So I think that will take some time. But one of the biggest thing which I see India's growing is if you go back, like reason why you started this company.
Okay, go on. So my doubt was, whether the SME guy that you spoke to, will he invest in robots?
They will definitely invest in
Okay,
robots.
you're saying it'll take time. Yeah, okay.
Today the way we are so today we sell the same product to India and global. There's no difference. What quality you get in India, we sell to all our customers. We treat every customer the same. We are not like others saying that I'll make an Indian version and I'll make a European
Global
version.
version. Yeah.
I sell the same version.
Mm.
But outside India, one of the things we are trying to solve is that over there, the reason why outsourcing happens, why they move out their manufacturing, is because of overhead cost.
Yes.
And we tell them there you should use automation. Like let's take a small medium scale manufacturing in US, and there the material handling operator would cost them around $60,000-$70,000 per year.
Yeah, in manufacturing it's 100K.
Yeah, it's very high. And the reason why
And 3 shifts. That's 300K a year. Nothing wrong, but yeah, I know what you mean. The overhead cost is high, and there's also the factor of there's not many people joining manufacturing even there, right?
Yes.
That's a truth, whether you like it or not. And so yeah, it is a problem. Go on.
So there we are telling customers that you can overcome these challenges with our Anscer platform, because we don't just build robots, we enable you to run your business. So we tell you can offset your overhead cost with robots so that you can retain local manufacturing. But in India, the scenario is a bit different. In India, they want
human plus robot.
They want a product. They don't want a solution. The SMEs expect that you give
What do you mean?
product,
Okay.
and they do the solution themselves.
They customize it to themselves.
Yeah, because in SMEs,
But what's the worth then?
Yeah, so in
The
SMEs,
process is still broken.
so the product has to go to that level of maturity where it has contextual understanding.
Oh, that's a long way, man.
So it's a long way, but that is where we have to build. If you want everyone to use, like for example, the most used LLM is ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Okay, the same technology even existed 10 years ago,
Correct.
or even 5 years ago.
It's just a process.
But the problem was you had to be a developer to set up the whole thing and use a command line to chat.
Correct.
But somebody built an interface which allowed anybody to go and have a conversation. And that is the game changer of the interface, right?
Correct.
Otherwise, you needed a team of people to set up a system like that.
Correct.
I'm not talking about the accuracy model, but I'm talking about having a chatbot conversational.
I understand. So the bots also get the context today. It'll take some time.
Yeah. So same thing with robots. When you want to reach out to SMEs, these are the last stage of the funnel, customer segment, where they want something where they take this product and they customize it how they want.
For me, this is an opportunity. I think some bunch of corporation, India is a large corporation, they should, along with the government, intervene and make this an opportunity, right? It's available for all SMEs. Will it happen? Do you think can be done?
It can be done. It would take time. But I would like to also add one more thing.
Please.
So in SMEs, you have one resource doing multiple jobs.
Yeah.
Like, for example, your system admin guy would be doing Wi-Fi, integration, everything. Or you might have a person, when they buy a machine, they want to repair it themselves.
Correct.
Because SMEs cannot afford, the biggest challenge for SMEs, it's not the product.
It's a maintenance.
It's a solution.
Yeah.
And maintenance.
Yeah.
They want everything can be done. Like, that's how SMEs run, right? If they'll tinker around with tools and they'll keep getting it going. But large scale companies are different. They have a process. They're like, there's a department which does this. Yes. They will take care of this. They will look at it.
Yeah, I'm glad you've nailed your pitch there as well. In a sense, you're saying you have to sell to the large guys to go to the small guys, because the large guys are the ones who are going to push it.
Yes.
Right. My thought process is, you spoke also about opportunities that these guys want customization. But for that customization to happen, somebody should subvent that customization. Say, okay, we'll allow an Anscer or a bunch of companies like Anscer to get together and offer them such a solution. But that's a long way away. But it's a great point, man. I'm going to go research further.
Yeah.
We did that to our cars, don't we? After 6-7 years, we don't go to the dealerships, or 5 years old. We go to normal certified maintenance guys, right?
Yeah.
We do that, and that's why it's affordable.
Correct. So we are exactly doing the same thing. So we are building an ecosystem
for them.
So let's take, if I sell my product to you in Assam, how will you get repaired? You can't you can't afford to fly a person from Bangalore coming to Assam and get it serviced. It's very expensive for you as an SME. Or I am not so big that I can say that I have a service center in Assam, and if you have a breakdown, I can give you support in 4 hours.
Got it.
Because in industrial robots, it's all about how fast you can fix things when things goes bad.
Yeah.
Because you have to ensure that uptime is always better than competition.
Okay, Raghu, answer me this. We also said overhead costs. A lot of people watching this abroad. In the end, we're all human beings. We have to care for each other. I don't want somebody to come bite you and me back saying that, oh, you guys are anti-humans. There's overhead costs of 3 shifts, 100K. Is that a realignment of an order? I mean, I know you're young enough. I mean, I'm old enough to be the bridge between your generation and the old, right? How do we have humans and robots working together? It's like a Isaac Asimov kind of novel I'm talking about now. Is it as scary for some people who write or even tell stories and videos saying that what will happen to those 3 people? 100K, they were doing this job. I mean, they could take care of their families. What happens to their families? That's the story that's being told. But you're also right, corporations will care about profit, and your job is just to follow that process and allow them to get that profit, which is what a company in automation does. But how, as a leader, I'm asking you, this is not specific to Anscer. How do you want to say that, look, this is a time of change, and how do we have humans, robots, AI working together? Will that happen?
Yeah, I can answer this question.
Please, I want you to answer it, because I don't want somebody biting you and me back saying, yeah, these guys are just shooting it.
Okay. So when we used to talk to investors at early stage, or even when we used to talk to financial guys, they will say that your robot will never, is so expensive, why will I buy it in first place?
Somebody told you that?
Yeah, many people told us. They're like, I can get more people. Why should I buy a robot?
This is globally or in India?
It's in India. Okay. I can tell that every region has a different specific problem. So I started trying to go to the root cause of this.
Okay.
Like, yeah, he's absolutely right? Like, why spend so much capital on equipment? And this I'm excluding. This is someone who's not considered benefits,
Got it.
all those things. He's
Got
just looking at like he's just looking at the cost he's spending right now in this. And I spend a lot of I've spent more than I think 200 days collectively, but at once I've spent more than 100 days straight in a shop floor.
Okay.
One of my key customer deployments happened. I was there in the facility
days.
throughout more than 100
Okay.
days in the shop floor. So when we were working, I met a lot of operators, like people who were working in the
It's
facility.
all foremen, everybody, all types.
Yeah, I made a lot of friends, and in this whole 100 days, I saw people leaving, people joining, and while I was talking to people, one of the things which I learned from the material handling perspective of what Anscer does is that when this person joins a company who's moving a trolley, who will always move trolley for the rest of his life, there is no growth.
Mm.
Okay, and that is something where he figures out after a few months, because he'll also see someone who joined a different role. Like let's take a machine operator. Okay, a machine operator can become a supervisor.
Yeah.
If
That
he's
was a
good, if he's good at managing people, if he's good at technical, he can become a maintenance guy.
Yes. That was a progression.
So there's a progression. So there's a track for them to grow.
A lathe operator could become the technical guy, and then he could become the maintenance guy.
Yes.
That was I definitely know this. In many factories, it was the progress. And then you ended up leading a factory. That's how the progression was.
So, but people who are moving material, they do not have a growth. Okay, because even even the supervisor is a shared resource. Who would be like the shift supervisor who's telling people what to do.
Yeah.
And also, this is a global phenomenon where people are exploited.
Yes.
You will be asked to push more. Like if you look at in US, there are warehouses where you have so tight shift, people pee in their bottle.
Oh God. Yeah, I've heard of those stories.
So because of like restrictions and exploitation of people, it's a global thing. And even in India, people want to move things faster. So here, the reason why they quit is because of this. Then I also try to understand, is it only because of this? I went to the root cause. I did a lot of study of people. And one of the things they say that like someone who's doing hard labor in factory would be a person who's pushing things. Like they would be asked to push 100 kgs, 500 kgs, lift things. They're sweating a lot. The food what you eat today is not the same nutrient value you got maybe 2-3 decades ago.
I know. Like, that's a whole different story.
Like today, an apple you eat
may not have the same.
If you eat 5 apples, maybe 30 years ago or 40 years ago or even 20 years ago, that will be between 1 and 3 apple nutrient value. So
because everything is mass produced.
Yeah, it's mass produced. So they don't have the right access to even the food given at factories. Just meet.
I know what you mean.
They just meet a requirement, right? They don't want you to become really super healthy.
Yeah.
The food is not good. Some factories take it very seriously, but some do not. So these are all the root causes, and there is no access to food outside the factory.
Yeah. I get it. It's a problem of the way humans are operating now, and that's how it is. Yes, go on.
So this one is the food, the real root cause. The other thing is that there's no growth trajectory.
Yeah.
And this becomes an attrition thing. And also market has this very thing saying that I pay you 5%, 10% extra and they quit. So because of this, right now companies are dependent on contract labors, which are third-party agencies.
It's been like this for a while, Raghu.
Yeah. So when you work with third-party agencies,
you're exploited.
You're exploited because there's no rules and regulations happening.
Yeah.
And this is at the root cause. Coming from a business standpoint of view, I don't think I've ever met any customer who says, I want robots because I don't want people to do this.
Okay.
They, like one customer, like one person told me this, that we make engines, which is so complicated, but I don't want to spend my effort telling, please bring this part right now, or this part has got damaged, go exchange it. Yeah. And I have to, and these plants will be very big. You have to walk 200, 300 meters.
I'll give you context. The Renault Nissan plant could be 600 acres. That's huge.
Yes.
It's like a township, right? So you're talking huge space.
Yeah, it's huge. So people will not be able to follow up with you. So here there's an efficiency problem. And this is a very easy task to be done. So, and it's a very repetitive task. So companies have, thing is that, like, even if I increase more people, this problem will not be solved.
Yeah.
I have to get more educated people who can use apps and
Yeah. Now I get it. So people can move a level up, and therefore it's a job that you are working with a robot. It's robot plus.
yeah, it's robot plus. So it becomes expensive.
Yeah. But we got to invest on that. Right?
Yeah, but wherever we have deployed, they have redistributed these people to do something else.
So what would that something else be?
Because there's in India, there's a huge skill labor shortage. We never expected that 80% of our revenue would be from India.
Right.
We always thought maybe 10 or 15%.
Yeah, I would have thought, opposite as well.
Yeah.
But this is news to me. We haven't scripted this. We just came here. So that's amazing to hear.
So most of our revenue comes from India. The reason is because there's a huge skill labor shortage.
That's true in manufacturing. No, you said it, right? You set the context really beautifully. Everybody wants to come to the city doing some blue collar work. There is skill level shortage in the manufacturing, and therefore it works. For India to scale, the robots will help. Right.
And also these people who can read to some level, they can just come and use any any hyperlogistics apps, and they can even decide to work at 1 a.m. in the night and they can make money.
Okay, and they can operate it out of home.
Yeah, there's flexibility. Like I have met people who have gone and told, why can't I listen? Like this Gen Z.
Why can't I watch the robots work and just manage?
Not robots work. They're like, why can't I play music and work in a factory?
Because of the robots?
Yeah, why am I not allowed to use phones while working?
That's a little, I mean, you're right. I mean, manufacturing, I wouldn't recommend that. It's not a place for everyone, right?
Yeah, and in factories, once it starts until it ends, the lighting condition is same. You don't know the clock where it is going. And people don't want to do the same thing over and again. And it is because of access to opportunities, right?
Yeah. I think, this question should be answered by the policymakers, and I'm hoping that somebody looks at the sociology of what you just mentioned. Only then can it get solved, when we can resolve a lot of chaos. But just rubbing off saying, oh, this robotic thing is anti-people is wrong by an argument by itself.
Yeah, like nobody wants to have robots. Nobody wants to build a solution to replace people.
Yeah.
There would be something more than that.
Absolutely. I think a sociological study is in order in India, and I'm glad you answered it really well. Now I want to move into this thing that you threw at me, that 80% of your revenues are Indian. It's super, because that's the context for me to say India can build indigenized robots. You're sitting in front of me that you've built one, not one, you've got contracts globally, and you can sell locally as well. I made a video recently, and you've seen it, where I talk about it from the materials, the actuators layer to the sensors layer, right? And then we move on to the LLM layer, or the vision and the LiDAR, which we talk about. What do we have in control in the robotics? I'd also called out that the funding for robotics in India is really dismal, whereas we've had unicorns in every other space, but deep tech less so, robotics less so, and we need to move in that direction for IP. And your IP is in India, correct? Am I right?
Yeah, it's all in India.
So that's great to hear. So you should now call this out. How should the market for robotics grow in India? Starting from the materials there, quickly.
I think in India, you need to build that ecosystem.
Yeah, and how does that get built? You got lucky because of an ecosystem.
Right? Yeah, we were able to maybe
find the right
because
people.
we're in Bangalore and we had early access to this part of the change.
Yes.
But it would have been very challenging in different place from where we came from. I think it's like the rich people.
Yeah, when he says rich, the people who made money through VCs, the new middle class, yes.
And they have to build an industry.
Yeah.
So you can talk about how as a Bangalorean, I've seen how Flipkart changed Bangalore.
Absolutely. That one announcement in 2015, January or February, changed India in the consumption side. You're absolutely bang on. That one narrative, it was followed by two companies, right? Flipkart, then Snapdeal.
Yes.
Before that, we had two unicorns, but nobody thought much about them. We had InMobi, we had New Sigma. But this was a fascinating thing. It changed everything.
Yeah. So that changed everything. So I think we need to build an ecosystem like that, where people don't only invest on the end product.
Yes.
So you need to build an ecosystem. Like if I had to redo it, we would be a component supplier for robotic companies. Because when you want to compete globally, it is not the end company talking to global companies. You can create opportunity for the whole ecosystem. Like when China goes, they are not just taking one company going, it's taking its whole ecosystem to the world.
Yeah, it's a stack of things.
Yeah, and that is something which India is missing, and there's a huge opportunity.
Yeah, that's a platform story, isn't it? They're selling China as an LLM platform, they're selling China as a manufacturing stack, and much more. And they have obviously their own domestic consumption stack, payment stack. We cracked the payment stack, thankfully. But you were right, this is an opportunity that we need. We sold the services business as well as a stack. But we should do this for the hardware and deep tech side.
Yeah. So and also there is very lack of.
You're saying it's fragmented?
It is very fragmented, and people have made it to the top to not share.
Yeah.
Because they feel the first mover advantage.
No, thank you for being honest. I mean, we need to create the sharing and the knowledge. Yeah.
So same thing, same thing is that even like this very limited access to knowledge. For example, when we built our first product, we built everything from ground up.
Yeah, you said you indigenized the whole thing.
Yeah, we wrote hardware, firmware, the middle layer, the business layer, everything we built.
And the vision, right? And the vision layer, the way the thing would go pick it up. Yeah.
And when we wanted to sell it to global companies, we were introduced to compliances. And they wanted us to tell that everything we have built as a product like life support.
Okay, that's the maintenance side.
Yeah. When people do automation, it has a double-edged sword. Let's take today, you're having 15 operators in a process. And when you start, you do a hybrid where you do collaborative of people and robot working together. And when you want to do a whole process automation to reach that maximum efficiency you can, what happens is that time if a robot fails, your whole production fails.
So they wanted support for each item.
Yeah, each item. So the way companies do is that they put compliance, saying that, are you buying your component from a supplier who's certified, who has all this standard? And have you built a product where you can give 15 years product lifecycle support? Like if you look at Kuka or Fanuc or these big giants, those guys have built a very good support system. Or even like I can give an example
of. They've been around for years, man.
Yeah, I can give an example of Volvo.
Yeah.
If you buy a Volvo car, Volvo says even I give you hardware support for 25 years and they'll give you software support for 15 years. So even after 10 years, if you find a bug in Volvo car, they'll patch it. But if you find a bug in any Indian cars after 5 years, nobody will patch it.
Yeah.
It's what you get. You pay for what you get. But Volvo goes that extra step. And that's how they're known for reliability, safety, and other things.
And did you know they gave the world the seat belts?
Yes.
They just said open source and do whatever you want with it.
So we realized, so when we built our whole stack and we built something to beat cost. Our first product was built to play with cost.
Yeah.
And when we went to these customers put us compliance, and we realized that, oh man, if I have to get all this compliance.
That was a hard truth for you, huh?
It's hard truth. If I have to get all this compliance, I need a lot of capital. I do not have suppliers in India who has these.
What's the most expensive for the indigenized robot? What was the most expensive component for you, and why couldn't you maintain it?
The product level support. I needed large teams who could monitor and this. Then our CTO came up with this crazy idea. He told, and at the same time when we had global chip shortage in 2022.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
everybody did.
But we were the highest affected guys because we were buying the most cutting edge stuff, component level, like ICs and other things. And because we were building vision stack and everybody was building cameras.
And all the controllers come from there, don't they?
Not controllers, I'm talking about components like your ICs.
ICs, yes.
And we went from 2-3 weeks lead time to 60 weeks lead time.
Correct me. Motors come up from abroad. The ICs come from abroad.
Yes.
Then what else? The sensors are also cutting edge. They come from abroad. So you had to build all these, right?
Yeah.
And integrate them.
We used existing subsystems, but the interconnection between the subsystems were indigenously built.
Okay. I got it. That was your IP.
That was our IP. Yeah. So, and we got with compliance. And our CTO came up with a strategy saying that, imagine if you have a customer sitting in Australia, he says the same thing. Look, if I have to get a part, you have to ship it from India and you can't store it.
Is it localized?
Localized. Yeah. So then he came up with this whole modular architecture where every component in a robot has supply chain in more than 60 countries.
So that's it. That's how you did this.
Yeah. So today we have designed our
So your design is the IP. Everything else is customized.
Customized. Yes. So we have built our product today that, let's take in a building, you have an engineer who does paneling.
Yeah.
Who knows good paneling.
Yes.
He can repair a robot.
Very good.
We always had a dream of selling to SMEs.
Yes.
Because it's an untapped market. Nobody's ever.
You gave me that story already.
So the way we are going to reach there is that we should build a tool which allows you to do whatever you want.
So the large companies will drive that to the smaller ones.
Yes.
Okay, here's the case. You spoke about indigenization, and you've told all the robot builders out there that to build everything indigenously, you should also understand the supply chain to localize things. That is the maintenance side. That's a great answer. What should India focus on? I called it out saying we don't have the commodities. We don't control the commodities. It's fine. But we need to do deals with these countries. Then we have the firmware, the hardware layer, which we can still control. You said subsystems, build them, integrate. That's the IP, right? And then you figure out where do these products get supplied locally. It could be in Australia, America, Europe, wherever, where there are local suppliers. That's and the vision layer, right? The LiDARs that you're saying that training should be India's forte, that we should get there, or we should have the whole stack that we own is the IP.
So we have to build the whole stack at one day, but as to start from top. So the way the government has to look at is that when you
government and a lot of, let me call out the private corporations, guys, fund some of these companies, man. Yeah. Right? That's the only way, right?
Not companies like us.
Yes.
Companies who can become suppliers
absolutely, to us. Absolutely. They have to create that ecosystem.
Yeah. And this is like, this is not like how Indian aerospace industry is, where they just replicate things.
Correct.
But at one stage, even Bangalore aerospace industry had to go through a way of building toolings.
Right.
They had to do custom tooling.
Right.
And they had no funds. It went very organic growth. Correct. And it took like 40 years to reach where they are.
Correct.
So I think in robotics, there is a lot of, again, deep tech involved building these components.
Sure.
And government should create grants to create researchers. Also, you need engineers to work on these things, right?
Correct.
We do not have those kind of core engineers to work on these things.
Raghu, do you think the government itself can solve it? Because that's alone they cannot. I'm sure there are big companies out there that can, the fund of funds that you're talking about, that they can all combine, CVCs, private corporations, right? They can get together with the government and do this. Is that an ecosystem that you're hinting at?
I think right now, this year, things have changed. Government has laid a vision. And over there, they're even talking about not helping the final product company, but the supplier ecosystem
for the robots.
It can be anything in deep tech.
Okay.
So like it can be anything in deep tech, because today we are manufacturing chips, but we have not gone to stage to make machines to manufacture those chips.
Yeah. So who's going to solve that, right? That's the piece. You built your IP, but there has to be some level of localization to support you, right? Who will they be?
This is an industry which will open up.
Okay, and talk about those components. Who are those support companies?
So it can be example. It can be motors.
Okay.
Like today, India's capability of building motors, but nobody's focused building miniature motors or even actuators.
Right.
If today India wants to become build a robotic arms which can work at global scale, we need that indigenously designed motors.
IP. Yeah. Okay.
And manufactured.
Okay.
And also subsidizing on certification.
All right. That's on the motors layer.
It can be on anything. It can be motors, actuators, even like, for example, I can give you like power distribution modules.
Okay.
Or it can be networking modules and even LiDARs.
Right.
Camera, vision systems.
Okay. Many years ago, we had these IC guys who sold to Apple and all of that from India. They're building special knowledge on these ICs. Right? Do you think such ecosystem, they always existed, not semiconductor guys. Do you think they should be propped up even more today? What is your view of the ecosystem? Does it exist at all?
It exists.
But in fragmented
It is in fragmented. It is not, I would say, it is fully focused on enabling India.
It isn't.
Not fully focused. There is some part people are doing things, but I think we have to do it faster.
Okay. Faster. And what are those 5 layers or 6 layers that have to come together? The semiconductor guys have to come together?
Yeah, it's semiconductor.
They have their own ecosystem, I know that
yes.
for a fact. Then what is the other one?
So it is one semiconductors and one is the motor
guys, you said, okay.
Then sensor guys.
Sensor.
Yeah, it's very important. We do not, we get all the sensors from Europe.
Yeah, I know that.
So they're not made locally in India.
Yeah.
And
it's interesting you get from Europe, not China. It's interesting.
The only thing we get from China is the motors.
Yeah, I kind of figured. The rare earth, the magnets.
Yeah. But there's also one say, okay, regardless of where your product comes, like the father is always from China.
That's interesting. Because they own the materials. Okay, like, fine.
We buy NVIDIA chipsets.
Yeah, I know.
But all the components of the chipsets comes from China.
Yeah, absolutely. They've cracked that.
So they control the supply chain. So
you want the sensor guys, the motor guys, the semiconductor guys to come together, perhaps create a new ecosystem. Right?
Yeah, someone has to drive building this ecosystem. And this will change everything.
No, but you moved mountains, Raghu. You've raised money, you've got customers, and I think Answer is going to be the answer to many things, and you're going to grow fast. And if anything, you will be setting an example to many of them. How's the robot ecosystem? How are the robot builders? I mean, I still hear about companies 10, 15 years ago, and I called it out. Right? There's no big company in robotics yet. Not yet. Why is that so? Are there young guys waiting to do it? Are there people building? When I look at a robotics thing, right? I know you support colleges as well. They do it as a maker ecosystem in the college, but when the kids come out, they're dismayed by the fact that there is no ecosystem, right? You mentioned the knowledge park that helped you. What's it called?
It's called IKP.
IKP helped you.
IKP Eden
Yeah.
in Bangalore.
And they helped. We need more of that, don't we?
Yeah, we need more of them. And also in terms of, there have been players in India for a very long time. The market was not matured.
Yeah.
The only thing I see about Answer is that you might have the team, resource and everything, but timing is the most important
It is.
factor. So when we started out is when the not only India, even the global market matured.
Yes.
And people at least now know what they want.
Okay.
Before it was, people just knew the automation, but people are seeing it today in action.
Yeah, Raghu, I'm very grateful that you came onto my show and we were able to talk so many things. And I'm hoping in 2026 we do a lot more of this and we get to understand the ecosystem, create that ecosystem. And you're a guy who's immensely focused on the technology. Do you get time to unwind?
Oh, I get to time to unwind because I have like amazing co-founders with me who take all the do all the art shit.
Do you want to name them?
Yeah, so I would say like my CTO Raj, who's so occupied, we never get to socialize beyond work.
Okay.
Like he's the last person in our company anyone meets.
Okay.
Because he's so occupied with our work. And then there is Evan who looks after the whole production of things. Then I am a CEO who always looking at what to do next. So I'm always worried about these three people getting unwind because they are so much into the whole.
So thanks to them, you're keeping things together.
Yeah, they are keeping things together.
Rather, that's so nice to hear. So what do you do to unwind? I mean, do you read, or is it family time that's most important for you?
So now it's family time. A few years ago, it was all about exploring new things, and I would do everything else. But now, I think to reach the goal, the focus is just coming down to a handful of things.
Yeah.
And also, I transitioned from the early 20s to late 20s.
Yeah.
So that also has played a major shift.
Yeah, and also the fact that you've become a process-led company, which is a major challenge.
We are doing there. We just started a thing.
Yeah.
We got an advisor who's helping us out how to reach there.
And that's very important for everyone. And anybody if a startup is watching this, please follow process. At process, it builds trust and accountability.
Yeah, at scale you need process.
Yeah, and please check out Anscer Robotics. They're in Bomasandra, Bangalore.
Yes.
Do you allow people to come to the factory? I would love to.
Yeah, so we allow people to come to factories. We had a lot of calls and many people call us and say, I'm very curious. Can I just come see what you guys really do? So we invite them when we have free time.
Yeah. So these bots are called LBR 700, is it?
So we have different series. So Answer's objective is any material in form of pallets, trolleys, or bins, we should be able to move them.
That's fantastic.
And we are focused more on brownfield projects. How do you automate existing factories?
Got it.
And we built our product lines to move any material. So today we do from the time a material is inside a factory till it leaves.
Yeah.
It can be a warehouse or a factory or any shop floor. In between the whole movement of your raw material to finished goods, we can manage.
Yeah, and guys, it is affordable. If you're an SME guy who's of the new generation, you want to automate, go for it. And if you got so far, again, please subscribe. And Raghu, thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Thank you.